A single stick figure stands at the edge of a vast gray wasteland. The world feels silent, heavy, and lifeless. The stick figure is small, fragile, almost invisible against the empty horizon. A shadow passes above, and for a moment, the figure looks even smaller, swallowed by the enormity of nothingness. But then something shifts. A single spark ignites above its head, faint but undeniable. The stick figure moves forward, and with every step, something extraordinary begins to happen. It grows, just a little, barely noticeable, 1%. The first day is difficult. The ground cracks beneath its feet, winds howl, and every movement feels like pushing against an invisible wall. The figure stumbles, almost falls, yet it stands back up, 1% stronger. The growth is so subtle that no one would notice it, but it's there. As the second day arrives, the figure continues. Now the wasteland shifts slightly. Rocks that once couldn't move, it now pushes aside. The wind that once bent it backward now meets quiet resistance. The figure doesn't roar, doesn't shout, doesn't make a spectacle of its strength. It simply grows, another 1%. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. The stick figure no longer walks through emptiness. It begins to carve a path. Behind it, sprouts of color emerge where its feet touch the ground. Green replaces gray. Flowers bloom timidly, as if asking permission to exist. Birds return to skies once barren. The world responds to the figure's daily growth, as though life itself had been waiting for someone to choose consistency over despair. But the world is not kind. The storms come back stronger. The earth shakes. The figure finds itself on its knees, beaten by the weight of obstacles too great to measure. For a moment, it looks like the growth has stopped. The spark flickers dangerously, almost extinguished. And here is the paradox. Every time the figure feels closest to breaking, every time the weight seems unbearable, the growth accelerates. 1% daily, and that 1% compounds. Suddenly, it isn't just slightly stronger, it is twice as strong as it was just a short while ago. The figure begins to rise taller, the world begins to shift faster. Mountains crumble before its persistence, rivers carve new paths around its stride. Other shadowy stick figures appear in the distance, figures who once stood still, hopeless, invisible. They notice the growth, they notice the spark. At first, they only watch, but one by one, they take their first steps. They stumble, fall, hesitate, but they rise again. The wasteland begins to transform, not because of grand gestures, but because of the quiet, relentless power of daily 1% growth. The original figure towers now, not as a giant, but as a symbol, not of perfection, not of sudden victory, but of unshakable progress. It looks back at the path it created. Every storm endured, every collapse survived, every spark protected when it was nothing more than fragile light. And here lies the ultimate truth. The transformation wasn't about the wasteland turning green. It wasn't about the shadows turning into companions. It was about the stick figure itself. Day 1, it was fragile. Day 100, it was resilient. Day 1000, it was unstoppable. Not because of a miracle, not because of luck, but because it chose to grow 1% every single day. As the figure walks toward a horizon that glows brighter than ever before, the screen fades to black. A final spark remains, pulsing, calling the viewer silently. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a series. Growth never stops. This is just the beginning. For more powerful stories, visit my channel and subscribe.